For many parents over 60, there's a really profound psychological shift that happens once their children are truly independent. It's this feeling of being adrift. But listen, this isn't just the empty nest syndrome you hear about. It's something much deeper, a structural event. And today, we're going to give it a name and, more importantly, a path forward.
Right, this isn't just some fleeting sadness. It is a genuine crisis of identity. Think about it. For decades, your brain was wired for one of the highest stakes missions there is, parenting. And now, that mission is complete. In this explainer, we're going to explore what's actually happening inside your brain when that purpose disappears, and crucially, how you can build a new one. So our journey today has 6 parts. We'll kick things off by diagnosing what we call the success crisis and the neurology behind it. Then we'll get into the solution, making that shift from manager to sovereign using a 4-part protocol. And we'll wrap up by looking at what that new life looks like and a simple challenge to get you started.
Okay, let's start with a really crucial reframe. That feeling you might have of being a little lost, a little purposeless, it is not a sign of failure. In fact, and this is the paradox, it is the ultimate sign of your success as a parent. You did it. You successfully raised independent, capable human beings who don't need you every single day. This is the summit, the very goal you worked so hard for. The problem isn't that you failed, it's that you succeeded so completely.
And this is what we call parental identity collapse. For 20, 30, maybe 40 years, your brain fine-tuned itself to be a protector-provider. It literally built a complex, high-alert operating system for your children's well-being. Well, that system is still running at full power, but its primary purpose, it's gone. It's like having a powerful engine with no vehicle to put it in. This feeling, it goes so much deeper than just missing your kids. Imagine you were the CEO of a 24/7 startup for decades. You poured everything into it, and you did such a good job that the company now runs itself. You've been made redundant. The business is a huge success, but your role has just vanished. And yet, your brain still shows up every single morning, ready for a crisis that just isn't coming. So let's actually look at the neuroscience of this, because understanding the biology of it really helps to depersonalize the pain. This isn't some character flaw you have, it's a completely predictable brain response to a massive change in your environment. We call this neurological surplus. Your brain is a powerhouse honed by years and years of protecting, planning, and problem-solving for your kids. That incredible machinery is still fully operational, but all the energy it generates now has nowhere to go. And that surplus, that's what creates that constant, humming feeling of restlessness and anxiety. What's so powerful about this is just how simple it is. It perfectly captures the mismatch. You have a wartime brain, but you're living in peacetime. It's constantly on high alert, ready to deploy all its resources. But the world is no longer sending the signals it was built to respond to. And that creates this kind of cognitive dissonance, a deep, unsettling hum of anxiety just below the surface. So the big question is, where does that powerful engine of concern actually go? Well, if it isn't channeled constructively, it can easily turn inward as anxiety, or it can turn outward, creating some real friction in the relationships that matter most to you. A lot of times, this surplus energy flares up when you see your adult child struggling. Your brain, in a nanosecond, finds a solution, but you know you shouldn't intervene. This advice gap, seeing the fix but having to stay silent, creates genuine biological stress. It actually spikes the stress hormone cortisol. Your brain is trying to run the old manager software when your new job title is consultant. This metaphor really captures the shift perfectly. You see, you used to be the infrastructure of their lives. You were the roads, the power grid, absolutely essential for their daily function. Your new role is to be the library, a place of immense, respected wisdom that is visited by choice. Your value hasn't decreased one bit, it has simply changed form. The goal is to stop maintaining the power grid and start building a magnificent library. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now, let's get to the solution. This is where we shift from just understanding the collapse to actively building your second act. And it requires a fundamental change in your mindset. From seeing yourself as the manager of other people's lives to becoming the sovereign of your own. Your new mission, should you choose to accept it, is to shift from direct intervention to what we call sovereign influence. This is all about your presence, not your management. It's about modeling a vibrant, independent life that inspires your children rather than directs them. You're shifting from being a fixer to being a beacon. What feels like a profound loss is actually an opportunity for reclamation. You are, in a very real way, being reintroduced to the protagonist of your own story. that person you were before parent became your primary all-consuming identity. It's time to embrace a new title, Chief Executive of Self. Your life is now your #1 project. Invest in your own health, your passions, your growth. Your decades of parenting experience, that becomes a legacy asset, a deep well of wisdom, not a daily operational burden. The highest compliment to your parenting is your own thriving independence.
Look, action is what rewires the brain. So the individuation protocol is a set of 4 behavioral drills. Think of it like a workout for your identity. These exercises are specifically designed to build new neural pathways and a sense of self-worth that is entirely 100% your own.
So here they are, the 4 drills. First, the parental pivot, to redirect your energy. Second, the advice embargo, to break an old validation cycle. Third, identity diversification, to build new pillars of self-worth. And fourth, the peer shift, to completely reshape your relationships. All right, first up, the parental pivot. Start by just acknowledging the immense amount of time and emotional energy you spend thinking about, and let's be honest, worrying about your adult kids. Now consciously pivot that energy, reallocate it, pour it into something that's challenging, engaging, and just for you. Learn an instrument, start a small business, train for a 5K. The purpose here is neurological. You are giving that powerful, protective brain circuit a new, positive target that you actually control. Second, the advice embargo. For the next 30 days, make a commitment. No unsolicited advice. None. If they ask you for it directly, of course, you can answer. Otherwise, your job is to listen and support. This is tough, but it's crucial. It breaks your brain's addiction to getting a validation hit from solving their problems, and it forces it to find a sense of competence in your own life.
Number 3, identity diversification. Look, if parent is the only major pillar holding up your identity, your self-worth is incredibly vulnerable. The goal is to build new pillars. Give yourself 2 new titles, and I mean titles, not just hobbies. Student, artist, volunteer, hiker. The only rule? They have to have 0 connection to your family role.
And finally, the peer shift. Now this one is a profound mindset change. Start consciously interacting with your adult children the way you would with a respected younger colleague. You listen to their expertise because, believe me, they know things you don't. You respect their authority over their own department, which is their life. You don't manage them, you collaborate. This isn't about being distant. It's about updating the relationship to one of powerful, mutual respect. So if you commit to this work, to really understanding the neurology and practicing this protocol, what does the future actually look like? This is the prognosis. And I'll tell you right now, it's not about loss or getting smaller. It's about a powerful and deeply respected new phase of life.
This is such an important way to think about it. It can feel like your world, your influence, your whole role is shrinking. It's not. It's distilling. Like a fine spirit, you are becoming more concentrated, more potent. You're shedding all the frantic daily management tasks, and what's left behind is pure wisdom, experience, and perspective. You are becoming more, not less.
Just let this sink in for a second. All of this change, this discomfort, this feeling of being unmoored, it is not the process of losing something essential to who you are.
You are upgrading. The role of elder is a promotion. An elder is not a manager. An elder is a source of wisdom, a keeper of the stories, a calm presence in a storm. They are the library, not the infrastructure. Their value is immense, but it is sought out, not imposed. This is a respected, powerful, and vital role in any family, in any community. And it is the role you have earned.
And if there's even a shred of guilt about focusing on yourself, let this be your absolution. The most loving, most generous thing you can do for your children right now is to be so completely absorbed in your own joyful, meaningful life that they are freed from any sense of obligation or worry for you. Your happiness gives them permission to be fully present in their own lives. It is a profound act of love.
Okay, so where do we go from here? This whole journey to sovereignty, it starts today. It starts right now. We're going to end with a simple, immediate action you can take to begin this process of reclamation.
Here is your challenge. It's gentle, but it is so powerful. Sometime in the next 24 hours, do one small thing that is just for you. Not for your spouse, not for your kids, not for your grandkids. Go to a museum, sit in a cafe and actually read a book. Take a walk in a new park. It doesn't have to be big or expensive. It just has to be yours. This is the very first rep in the exercise of building the sovereign you.
Your first name is not mom or dad. It's time to reclaim it. Your world is not limited to the lives of your children. It's time to rebuild it. Because the greatest legacy you can leave is not one of constant intervention, but the powerful, living example of a life lived with passion and purpose and joy, right to the very end.